Hello, Sam Owens here again. Another tip for your Jeep Grand Cherokee. Mine happens to be the 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited Edition. But here's the issue that I'm dealing with, and I have another video which shows you how to deal with this problem. And it's with the remote control or the automatic door locks, remote door locks, and your key fob. Okay, you go to lock the car, you press the lock button, and nothing happens, and you press it 2 or 3 more times and it'll lock. Then you come out later after shopping and you go to unlock it and it won't unlock. You press, and then when you open with the key, the door lock, the alarm goes off. So you have to quickly get into the car and put the key in the ignition. And once you do and turn the ignition on, the alarm will go off. Okay, I'm going to show you what that problem amounts to and how to solve that. I have found mine did the same thing, and I opened the back up, and actually I even didn't put the screw back in because I was having so much trouble with it. What you do is you have to first have a little small screwdriver set, and you can pick these up. Called jeweler's tools, and they have small bits, Phillips and flat tips. But I'm going to use the largest flat tip and pry open the. Actually, you could use a regular screwdriver, but I happen to have this. So now there's a Phillips screw right here, and you unscrew that with your jeweler's tool, and it's going to take that. It's a very small Phillips. Okay, once it's done, then you'll find there's a slot over here. Actually, I forgot, you can use a dime and operate that. A dime, or yeah, probably a dime is about the thickness, and twist and it'll pop open. I can use this also, my little screwdriver, and there. And once you open it up, this is what you find. You find this little apparatus here. This is the circuit board with the battery. Now here is the problem that happens, is one of these terminals, like right in here, this whole thing will pull up. If it pulls up, then the solder connection has come loose, and that solder connection I had to fix was right here. I had to resolder this because this end of the battery was popping loose. And so by that being loose, the power was not going to the circuit board, and sometimes it would and sometimes it wouldn't, depending on just how this was touching. So what you would do, you can go get you a wood burning tool. This is the simplest way to do this, and some solder, and you plug this thing in. I'm not going to do this, I'm just showing you how to do it. And then you would come over and you would find the area that's loose. Like if this one is loose right here, then you'd come over and you would touch this, and you'd have it down like this. You'd touch the edge of your soldering iron when it's hot, and then you take some solder, get you some solder, and then you would touch this and melt the solder just a little bit, and then release and let it cool, and then it will be secure. And then when you're finished, this should not lift up in any way. I've heard of several other folks with this condition, and this would be a problem if this battery holder were coming loose. And I think what happens is when you're replacing the battery, you're wiggling and pulling on these catches, and if you do it too hard, it's going to tear loose the connection on the back, and there's a couple of them. So wherever there's a connection, you would need to see, and it's usually going to be on this end right here that comes up, and this whole unit will pull up. If that's your case, then that's the problem, and you can fix this very easily. Soldering iron, solder, holding as I showed you, and then you put this back in there. And then you put this back on. And you want to make sure you got them all just right. Yep. And then push the back side first. There, snap it in. Now we're going to listen to the Jeep. And hopefully I haven't torn it up. Okay, and then there, it's all open. Okay, so there you have it. Now, let me tell you one other thing about the key. There is a chip inside the key that works with the ignition, that if the chip is not communicating with your computer in your Jeep, it will not start. It'll start, but it may run for 2 seconds and turn off. Like some of you may have a valet key which will just open the door up, but if you try, it doesn't have the fob part to the key. It's just a regular key. If you try to start the Jeep with that key, it'll crank up and run for 2 seconds and turn off. So it's the same thing with when the key chip has an issue with it, whatever it might be, and you have this crank up normal, run for 2 seconds and turn off. One of the first things you can do is change to your spare key, or go get a new key made at a Ace Hardware or what have you. Now if you do that, you won't have all of the features of you know, like door locks and stuff like that, and opening the rear door. It'll only start the car, so you have to manually lock the car up. You have to go to a dealer to get a new key that has full function, which are a lot more expensive. I think I paid $64 at an Ace Hardware just to get a key that would start the car, because I didn't know about this problem. And I did have the 2 second issue. I have another video that deals with 2 seconds start and run for 2 seconds, and also the computer can get a glitch in it and you end up with that feature, and that's what I had. So you may want to check my other video, and I show powering down the ECM with the storage disconnect feature, and so you need to watch that for the 2 second run. So there's 2 things that can cause that, and also the remote control feature with the battery that I just shown you. Okay, so this is another step in the 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I think this goes up to 2010. The same package was available. Just trying to help you out, okay? So listen to Sam Owens. I've been where you're trying to get, okay?